as well as our next guest.
Yes.
She's excited about it as well. God has done some amazing things in her life, and He's used her to bless the lives of others. And she's going to talk to us about that right now. And I'm excited because she's got a couple of angles that she can come from. And so that blesses us in a great way. So we're going to welcome Kenni York to the broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
smiling
for having me.
Smiling already.
I can't help it. I have a lot to smile about.
That's right. That's right. And you never let anybody take your smile away, because you smile.
Absolutely.
Just keep on smiling, and it radiates and lights up somebody else's life.
Absolutely.
Talk to us, Kenni York, about who you are and what God is doing in your life and using you to do in the lives of others.
Oh my goodness. Kenni York is a woman of many talents. I'll say that. I am the mother of three. I have three small little boys. I'm an author, full-time author. I am a sexual assault awareness advocate, and I'm a wife. But most of all, I am a person that believes in making a difference and not just a dollar. So everything I do is purposeful. I do it from the heart, and I do it because I believe I was led to do it.
Amen. Amen. Talk to us. You know, you talk to us about a mom of three small boys. I'm sure you have your gym shoes on most of the day, so you can chase them down. And then you an advocate. Talk to us about that.
Okay, well, before I get into it, I'm going to say this to preface it. I am also someone who doesn't sugarcoat what has happened to me, because what happened to me caused me to be the person that I am and to be able to bring the message that I bring, okay? So when I was 14, I was sexually assaulted by my father. My dad molested me. So you can imagine what that was like for a young girl who your father is supposed to be, your first look at what a man is supposed to be like,
Protector.
you know, a protector, that first male that's supposed to love you. So when you don't have that, what's left? You feel shattered. You don't know what love is supposed to look like coming from a male. I could have gone down any road. God could have taken me in a totally different direction, but I'm grateful that I am not the person that uses drugs or alcohol or promiscuity as a coping mechanism. For me, my coping mechanism came in the form of writing. For example, my book, my poetry autobiography, as I like to call it, A Girl's Perspective, I dedicated that book to my father, because that's my way of saying I forgive you, not necessarily for me or for him, but yeah, not necessarily for him, but for me, so that I could let go, because I realized that I was holding on to that and it was tainting my other relationships, not just my relationship with my husband or any male before him, but my relationship with my friends, with my family, anybody that I came into contact with, because the trust factor is a big deal now because of what I've experienced. So me putting my thoughts down on paper, the book was compiled from poems that I wrote as a teenager. So during that time period from ages of 14 to 21, all of those poems in that book came from that time period. And it was my way of saying, this is what happened. Let me put it here so I can move there.
That's good.
Yeah, I bet that was challenging. That had to be hard to move beyond it. But God's strength is amazing, isn't it?
It is, and I'll tell you this, it's not an overnight thing. Healing is continuous. Some people ask me in my advocacy, they ask me, well, how'd you overcome it? I haven't. I work at it every day. It sits with me every day. But through me reaching out to other women, or let me not just say women, through me reaching out to other people who have suffered from sexual abuse, it's helped me to grow. It's helped me to heal, being able to help other people find their voice. In fact, I have a benefit event that I hold annually. Let Your Voice Be Heard. It's a talent showcase, and I do it every April because April is National Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And the proceeds from that event, I donated to the DeKalb Rape Crisis Center, which is now called Day League. So that money helps them to counsel men and women and children who've been abused, get them out of those situations and get them to safe havens. If they're in an immediate situation, we can send people out to go retrieve them and take them to the hospital or take them wherever they need to go in order to get out of that dangerous situation. So It comes full circle.
And then now you also heard about women of courage, so you can connect them.
Yes,
You see what
and
I'm
I
saying?
have their card. You see, God puts you exactly where you need to be to meet the people you need to meet
That's right.
in order to do what He needs you to do.
Right.
Go ahead on. Now she preaching. Look.
I'm sorry.
What can I say? As from a male's perspective, how is all of this, how has your husband been able to help you with everything that you're going through?
Well, God bless him, because I'm not an easy person to deal with because of that, because of my issues, and I can admit that. But I'm grateful that God gave me someone who loves me unconditionally, because I already knew what love looked like the wrong way.
Right.
You know, I already knew what pain looked like. So He gave me somebody that can show me what love was supposed to look like. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm grateful to Him for, you know, hanging in there. Kudos to Him.
Amen. 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 Kudos to hubby. Amen. And you know, and then it looks. This is me, in you know, in my head space, and then he's a serviceman.
Yes.
And so, you know, he knows how to do battle.
Yes.
So when he couples that and does battle in the spirit, then he's got you covered.
Absolutely.
He's got you covered in a great
Absolutely.
way. So you used that. You wrote this book as your, as you said, as a coping mechanism. So we see poems written in this book when you were like 15, and
14,
then 20.
15.
Yeah, we go back and we look at all the various ages, and there's at the end of the poem how old you were. And so while you were writing this poem, these poems, could you feel your healing process beginning?
I think at the time, because I was so young and I was still so hurt and so damaged, it was just a way to get it out. So in all honesty, I feel like I really didn't start to heal until I put the book out. I think I was maybe 23, 24 when I put the book out. I took the notebook out the closet and said, okay, let me do something with it. And I thought about it for a while. Okay, who am I going to dedicate this book to? Because I always dedicate my books to someone. And I realized that most of the poems came from that time period, and I'm trying to get past it. Let me dedicate it to him as my way of marking the moment and saying, okay, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Sometimes people, when they're watching and they're hearing your story, they're like, wow, this happened. What happened to your dad?
My dad went to jail, like he should have. He also abused my sister, so he went to jail. He spent 8 years in jail consecutively for what he did to me and what he did to my sister. And upon him getting out, I had a restraining order, so he is to not have any contact with me or my sister. Coincidentally, in April, Glamour magazine did a segment on sexual abuse, and they featured me where I told my story, and I told what happened to me and what happened to my father as a result of that. So people asked me, just like they did for Glamour, if my dad wanted to come back and try to get our relationship back or some kind of reconciliation, would I be willing to do it? And in all honesty, I'm not there yet. I don't want a relationship with him at this point, but what I did say is that if he ever wants to apologize to me, I'm not going to take that from him. I'll go, I'll sit, and I'll listen, because I understand that that isn't for me, that is for him, so he can get himself right with his maker before he goes on to the next life. So absolutely, I'll sit and I'll listen.
Thank you for being honest. Because everybody will say some things, but you're not there yet. And that says a lot about you, your growth, and that you're still dealing with some of the stuff that you have to deal with.
Absolutely.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. I appreciate your transparency. My sister, thank you so much.
No
Because somebody would say, oh, yes, I would welcome it, when deep in their heart of hearts, they know that they don't. Now, at some point, we know that it would all have to be released from you completely and totally, and God will set you free. And we're going to pray that God still does that work in you, and I'm sure you welcome that as well. What do you want this book to do in the lives of ladies? We only just have a couple minutes, but what those that read it, and it's probably not just women, but anybody that's been sexually assaulted.
I want whomever to know that you're not alone. Because a lot of times when you're going through these situations, you feel like no one understands. I don't have anywhere to turn. I have no one. The person that I have that's supposed to love me doesn't love me. So what do I have now? And I want those people to know that you're not alone and you still have love. You have the greatest love. You just have to realize that. Tap into yourself and get your inner strength and realize that you're better than that situation and you had exactly what you need. You just need to be ready to make the next move.
Amen.
You have a sash out, Mrs. Lithonia.
Mrs. Lithonia,
All
yes.
right.
Plus America.
Mrs. Lithonia Plus America.
Okay.
When did this transpire, and congratulations?
Thank you. I became Mrs. Lithonia Plus America in October of 2013. I competed to be Mrs. Georgia. The competition was in April, and although I did not win, I am still Mrs. Lithonia, so I represent my city wherever I go in whatever capacity that I'm there because I'm proud of who I am. It's a plus-size pageant for full-figured, beautiful women, and me doing this is my way, because being in the pageant is so not like me, but it was my way of saying, I believe that I'm beautiful and I'm worthy and I'm a queen with or without the crown or the title. I'm a queen. So I want other women to see me and, you know, tap into their inner queen.
And be encouraged.
Right.
And be comfortable in the skin that they're in.
Absolutely, because you're beautiful. Beauty comes in all different shapes and sizes.
Amen.
God makes no mistakes when He
Absolutely
creates.
not.
Amen. How can we find out more about this book? How do you have a website? Facebook, email?
I have a website. It's simple, www.kenniyork.com, and that's Kenny with an I. I'm also on Facebook as Kenyatta York or author Kenni York. I'm on Twitter as Kenni York, and I had to go ahead and get an Instagram, so I'm there too.
Social media, man, you know, it helps. Yes, it is. And it's a good ministry too. Some people may use it for, as I might call, tomfoolery, but we can use it for ministry and win souls. Yeah, we can. We can.
What do you want someone who has been sexually abused to understand how they can overcome? We've got about a minute.
I want them to understand that healing takes time. It's doable, but it takes time. But you first have to reach inside yourself and realize you're better than this situation.
Amen. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for coming to share. Thank you for being transparent. Thank you for allowing God to work on you and in you so that you can completely and totally be 100% who He has called you to be.
Absolutely.
And
thank you.
Amen. More about Kenni York. KenniYork.com is the website when you want to find out more about her book of poetry and much more. You know, we go through some things, and sometimes we want to hold in certain things that we've gone through. That's not what God has called for us to do.
Right.
He calls us about seeking Him, asking Him for guidance and direction. Of course, our prayer partners are waiting for you to give them a call, excuse me, the number at the bottom of the screen, so that they can connect your faith with their faith as well.
Yeah, we want you to understand. Talk to your kids.
Yes.
Help your kids to open up. Even as Kenni has shared with us today, listen to them. Don't just brush them off. Listen to them and let them know that you're their biggest supporter and you've got their back, and that you'll help them walk through whatever it is they need to walk through so that they can be safe, they can feel safe, and that they'll be able to walk through life and be